OT, every playoff team has a chance to fight to extend their season. So the plan has got to be, if you win the toss and you take the ball, reach the end zone and score, and put as much pressure on your opponent as possible to try and win a game in OT in the playoffs.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. Second down, Jacobs once more. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. You know, Charles, just thinking about it, plenty of recent conference championship games have needed OT to decide who goes to the Super Bowl.
And we can go back a little ways, can't we? Go back 2012. Giants in San Francisco. That was an overtime game. The Giants ended up going on to the Super Bowl. How about the one where the Giants went to Green Bay, Lambeau, and beat the magic of that stadium in that freezing, bitterly...
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Now a first throw here in overtime.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
They'll look to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
Breaks a tackle, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
102 yards rushing for him now on the ball game as he goes over the century mark with the AFC title on the line.
Well, partner, recent conference championship games that have been needed to decide who goes to the Super Bowl. What do you got?
Well, if we go back to 2015, how about Green Bay at Seattle? And it looks like Green Bay's got this thing. Russell Wilson to Jermaine Kearse, that gets it done. And then go back to 2010. We think Brett Favre with the Vikings has the destiny, but they're at New Orleans. It's the Saints. And they get it done. And in overtime, go on to the Super Bowl. And they won that one. They beat the Colts, correct?
Yep. A couple of the more memorable ones for sure. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Here's Love. Oh, and it's intercepted.
And the Lions are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. Gigantic play by this defense, Charles. So they came back in the fourth quarter, took the momentum into overtime, and now they take the football.
And how do you think the team that just threw the pick feels right now? They surrendered the lead, got to overtime, had a chance to redeem themselves, and now they put the game in jeopardy with another pick. And guess what? Their defense has to hold.
One or two more big plays could get them in position for a game-winning field goal. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
2nd and 11. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Gibbs will try and pick it up.
Man, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Flush to his right. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Eagles are going to take over here up near the 40. Man, what a battle. I mean, what a game this has turned out to be, Charles, as we're going to have now a 5th drive here in overtime.
I don't know how they're doing it out there because the focus, the concentration, that has to stay as high as the intensity, and it's hard to do with how hard-hitting this game has been. But at this point, you've got kicking in your background. Can you go down there and put one through the post so we can all go home?
I don't think they want me down there, but of course we've said it multiple times. That's all it takes right now, 3 to win it. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. Looking deep here for Chase. Oh, and it's intercepted. It's Brian Branch with it. And the Lions are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Well, partner, it's kind of like a hot potato right now. Who wants this thing? Both teams have had multiple possessions here in overtime, and neither able to pull away with a victory.
And I think both head coaches are scratching their heads trying to figure out what strategy is it going to take to give us a chance to win this thing, because rarely do we see a game get this deep into overtime. And by the way, partner, your plane just pulled away from the gate. You're not going to get home tonight. They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. Off to the races. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. One overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. Well, 1 OT wasn't enough. We better make it 2 to determine who advances to the Super Bowl. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now a 2nd down throw for Love here. Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Love from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
What a call this is. Tied in overtime, and they are going to line up to go for it. Fourth down. Love. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth, and the Lions will take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Gibbs. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Charles, any chance they go for it here?
I think that there's a chance. They have to consider it because of the way they played offense in this game. I mean, look at the scoreboard. Look at the points that they've put up. They feel confident that they can keep it going. But the risk is, and the downside is, you don't get it here, you've set up your opponent in really good field position.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on fourth down. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on fourth down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The give right side for Gibbs. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43 from just outside of field goal range. 3 points, all that's needed. Here's 1st and 10. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands but could not hang on. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a give to Gibbs, running left. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. They're going to look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Gibbs. That's going to bring up fourth down. Only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a fourth down?
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to score. It's a touchdown. No flags. And in an overtime thriller, they are moving on to the playoff.
No rest. They get to keep playing.
And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.